Hi, welcome to the Screencasting for Moderation. Your presenters today will be Tom, Kristen and myself. In this session, you'll be learning how to use flipped pedagogy to improve all aspects of your teaching and to help students' learning. Hope you guys enjoy.
Alright, so one awesome way for screencasting is to talk through an assignment sheet. So that enables you to go through all elements of the assignment, as I'm doing right above myself, in an assignment that I recently did with my Year 10 Modern History class. Now, I'm going to throw over to Kristen.
Alright, so I use my videos in my Stage 1 and 2 classes. Just behind me is an example of a video that I've used to talk through my rubric with the kids. I usually get them to mark their own work, and in order for them to do it accurately, not just say, oh, an A, I want them to understand what I'm looking at and the achievement standards for that task. So I go through the achievement standards, talk through that, and then send that to the kids so they have a better understanding of what I'm expecting when I'm marking and what they should be doing when they're writing their assignments.
Another awesome way is to get students to present their work. So this is an example of a young ATSI student, Riley Souter, doing his Google Slides or PowerPoint presentation as a screencast. Great for moderation because instead of you having to hand up your notes or pass on your notes for moderation, you've got a video there that you can pass on. Woo!
Okay, so another way I use flipped videos in my Stage 1 and 2 classrooms is for our first investigation for psychology. We have to write, the students have to write a report, and it's quite tricky. It's especially hard for the Year 11s to get their heads around. So what I've done is I've created a video for every section of the report. So going into it in detail and looking at what I'm expecting for them to talk about. Some of them are a bit dodgy, but what I do then is I upload all of the videos into one folder, and I send out those videos to the students via Google Drive so they have access to them at any point. They can check back on them, look at exactly what I'm expecting, because I've scaffolded a document which talks about how to make graphs or what to do when they look at the graphs and stuff like that, which really helps them with their reports.
I'm going to talk about how to use screen recording and flipped learning to give feedback for students' work. So like when you give comments and or when you're doing drafting and you can type through, you can do the same thing while you record yourself. So instead of actually having to try to write what you're trying to think in your head to the students, you can actually just say it out loud as you're sort of going through their assignments. So here's what I did for my Year 8s, where I've sort of just gone through their reports, and I've just spoken through what they could improve on, what they could do better on next time, and using it as that tool, and that's what I sort of uploaded up to them for their feedback section. So I think it's very powerful because the students aren't trying to work out your language that you're trying to type in, especially those kids who might struggle with their language, especially their reading to start off with. So having this sort of means and going through it verbally like you would if you were sitting next to them can be very powerful. So yeah, so that's another way that you could use this, especially for giving feedback to your students on their tasks.
Okay, so the PDF that's attached to this email that you're going to receive has the details for getting Screencast-O-Matic up and running. Okay, so if I go click on that, and you can basically go through there and follow it. The PDF's attached. Okay, what I would suggest is before the session also that you download Screencast-O-Matic. You can use it online, but it also works pretty well. It works better if you download it. Come to the session tomorrow with something you want to screencast, and Zach, Kristen and myself will be there to help you out. Cheers.